Hey guys, Andy here. So what is Zwift? Zwift is basically a computer game controlled by you cycling on a bike. Why would you do that? Well, because it's getting cold and wet now. It's into October. I went out the other morning at it's 5 degrees C at 8 in the morning. It was freezing cold as the wind's whipping off your face. So being able to train indoors is an ideal alternative. Now, it has other benefits. I mean, you might do it all year round in that you can race people. So you can race literally hundreds of other people. You can do Ftp tests, which is a functional threshold of power or something like that, which is basically the average power that a rider can produce over the course of an hour measured in watts. This is often used really to combine with sort of your age and your weight to give you an actual good measure of your fitness. So these things mean that you might still do it all year round. It's not just for the winter. So what do you need to be able to run Zwift? Well, you need a smart trainer of some kind. You need, depending what type of trainer you have, a training wheel or a training tyre or a kind of a spare bike with a training wheel on, because it will wear out a regular tyre pretty quickly. You need a subscription to Zwift, which is £12.99 a month. That's in pounds. And you need a device to run Zwift on. So be that a Windows machine, a MacBook in this instance, an Android device, a tablet, iOS tablet. It will run on many different devices. You'll also need a towel and a big fan, because you'd be amazed how hot you get when you're cycling indoors and there's not a breeze keeping you cool.
The first thing you're looking at when you open the software is it trying to pair two devices. It can either pair using ANT or using Bluetooth. And it either needs at least a speed sensor or a power source, which is what I use in my case. I've also got a separate heart rate monitor. I've also got a separate cadence sensor on the pedals. And the controllable factor is part of the smart trainer that I use. But we're going to skip over this for now because we're actually on my PC and I'm not actually racing at this point. So you get missions and challenges to do. I'm not really too worried about that at this point. And then we can decide where we're going to cycle. We can select specific routes, which is quite good. So you can change how they're sorted. We can go to Watopia. Whenever you decide on one of those, you can just click ride, or you can do a training session. So I do like the FTP tests. Really, you should do one that lasts an hour. That's kind of the correct way to do an FTP test, but that's a lot of work. I've done the ramp test a few times, so you can see. I think must be the last date I did, 22nd of the 7th. Yeah, there it is. And it said I was 250 watts. So it'll be quite interesting. I'm going to do that again in a couple of weeks' time to see if I've increased that or not. But there's various different. So an FTP builder, look. There's a bit here about joining other riders. Up on the top right, look, we get upcoming events, and it tells we can just join. So there's a D there, the Herd Sunday Endurance. Oops, and that's as easy as that to say you're going. I'm not going. Oh well, it thinks I'm going. We've got a guest world schedule. So you can see how much I cycled. This is actually, you're going to see me doing this in a moment, basically. And we can have goals, remove goals. So obviously I'm not connected to anything at this point, so he's just sat chilling at the side of the road. You see here, like people chatting. So you can see there I've got 8 minutes till the event that I mistakenly said I was joining. Let's go into the menu though. And I'll look over here on the right side. So we've got the workouts like we were just looking at. Let's come back. Badges. So these are your achievements. I didn't see, I think these are quite new actually, the route achievements. As you can see, I haven't got any. I know they weren't on the last time I've run the software. But I quite like, you've got things like Speed Demon, I broke 40 miles an hour. Rode 10 miles. Master Draftsman. Held 50 watts for over 10 seconds. There was one about... There we go, you hit 700 watts. So various different bits and pieces that you can get badge-wise. We need to go to the garage. So this is where you can choose. Now, don't make the mistake. So I thought, well, surely I want this one. And I selected the TT bike, and then someone pointed out that I can't draft, and actually it's a lot harder riding in groups when you're on a TT bike. So I'll stick with the old carbon Zwift. You can change sort of highlight colours. Let's come back out. Oh, I don't want to come all the way back out, sorry. You can change the wheels. So I've only got regular carbon wheels. You unlock some things as you go through the levels. Here's me and myself. You get to change your hairstyle and facial hair, even your head type. Get to change your jerseys. Again, I'm unlocking a few more now. I could go a bit more Strava actually. I'm not a big fan of that alien one. I'm not quite sure. I think I unlocked that through doing something a bit different, so I thought maybe I was a bit unique, but I just generally don't like the look of it. So we'll go with the Strava top. That's fine. Glasses. I've got glasses on. I think I need to unlock more of these. Yeah. So you get the idea, basically. You can change your appearance. You do have like 3 different body types as well. So depending on your height and weight, it makes you like a small, medium or large body type. And then we've got some settings in here. Turn the music on and off, different volumes, change your resolution, power display 3-second average instant, all this sort of thing, which you can fiddle with. And after and during rides, so I've got some screenshots of completed rides where you can see some stats. I love stats, me, so this is my kind of thing. So there we go. So not only is there the Zwift app, but there's also the companion app, which we're taking a quick look at here. It's definitely worthwhile installing on your phone, which you will then have on your handlebars whilst you're playing the game on perhaps a laptop or a tablet. You can see you can set up your Zwift profile in the settings. We're not too worried about that right now. You can see on the front page an activity feed of your friends that you might have within Zwift, but I'm looking now at the events because I'm looking to do something today. So I want something nearish, 10:45, perfect, 8 stages of dirt. We get all the information about the activity. This one happens to be a race. And you see the different categories, A, B, C and D are all in relation to how powerful and just generally how good a rider you are. I fit into the D category right at the bottom there. I don't really need a reminder because it's going to be starting in the next sort of 10 or 15 minutes. There's also some pretty clever websites about. This one is called Zwift Hacks. And I like it just because it's got some really good filters for you to narrow down what you might be looking for. Now in this instance, I just put it onto cycling, category D, and I want it to show distances in miles because I'm looking for something kind of 15 to 20 miles. And obviously we've already seen, I'm going to do the 8 stages of dirt. Again, we've got all that same information here like we see in the companion app, but what I like is we can click through to see more information about the circuit that we're going to ride on, the route, and click through again to Zwift Insider, and we get a, what's that called, a topographical? I didn't twig at this point how hilly, you see that massive big climb? That's coming soon for me. Now we're into the actual app that's running on my MacBook. And at this point, I think I'm just doing a free ride around New York, perhaps. I forget. Oh no, London Loop, sorry, it does say on the left. So all the information that you might need is on the screen right now. That is duplicated in the companion app. We're going to have a look at that in a moment. So top left, you see probably one of the most important things for cyclists, how many watts you're kicking out. That is delivered to you because I'm riding on a smart trainer and it knows how many watts. You can get them when you're out cycling regularly. You need a power meter and they're quite expensive. They're either your pedals or the cranks. Oh look, I unlocked an achievement. But that's one of the main stats when it comes to cycling. See there it says close the gap, so you can draft off people and that should make it a bit easier and quicker. Top right is a map, and it also shows in there, like you see, it says 0% at the moment, but that will show us if we go uphill or downhill, it either goes up to sort of whatever, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8%, or minus, meaning you're going downhill. And then in the center at the top is kind of all the information about the ride you're currently doing. So I'm not sure why, but at this point I had it set in kilometers. So we've got the speed in kilometers per hour, and the distance in kilometers, and how long I've been riding. There's only 3 minutes 37 at this point. And the route that I'm doing, London Loop. On the left, you see it says London Loop. You get sort of time trials and things. That's where the stats will appear, showing you how well you've done over certain segments.
It's pretty horrible, to be honest. The last like 3 or 4 miles of the race are like 4 to 10 degree climbs, and it's killed me. I lost the pack I was cycling with. I'm trying to get home now. I can finally see the finish line on the map. Oh. Lucky is catching me up. I can't let him overtake me right at the end. I think I'm safe. That was horrible. Why do I do it? Average heart rate of 140, what did I say? 148. Average power is pretty good, 208. There's only one on the screen there that's above me. But that was hard work, really hard work. This thing will be soaking.
Another website, real quick, that's worth knowing about is Zwift Power. A lot of the events you do will sync into Zwift Power, and you can get all the results afterwards. With, again, lots of stats, which I love. Here you can see basically everybody's results. Now, there are 24 of us racing in Category D, so I don't know quite why only 5 show, but it gave me a bronze medal for it, which I'm not going to complain about. We can see sort of average powers per 20 minutes, 5 minutes, 1 minute, which are all very useful and interesting. We can narrow it down. Oh, we can see there, see the elevation that I had to deal with near the end of the race, which just killed me completely. We can narrow it down to just D. We can change it over to visible, the actual watts that are kicked out. You know, again, it's just for someone that loves stats, really quite useful and interesting.
Wow. So perhaps most importantly for most cyclists, it does integrate with Strava. I've connected the two. The ride appears instantly, really, when you're finished. You get stats, you get all the stuff you would get if you've been out on the road. You get achievements. So what was that? 707 calories, 16.3 miles an hour average. It was about 21 miles an hour average for the first 12 miles or so. Those hills at the end killed me. So is it worthwhile? I think so. Just the fact that you can do competitions like that, you can race, it pushes me to my limits, basically. There's no way I would have ridden that hard my average heart rate 148 or whatever it was, if I was just out on the road cycling by myself, it's hard to motivate yourself to be that punishing to yourself. The fact you can do FTP tests to sort of monitor your fitness and track your fitness, even if you're riding out on the road through the summer, every now and then you can do an FTP test. And the fact that I did all this for probably less than £400, so the trainer itself £270, the wheel, the tyre, inner tubes perhaps, it was less than 400. You can spend more than that if you wanted to. You can go up to a couple of grand, but there's no need to. If you want to, you can do it on £400. So there we go. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. If you haven't subscribed, do so, clicking the thing at the top here, and then maybe check out other videos on my channel, which I'll try and put there. I will read any comments you post, so please do. But for now, my name's Andy. I'll catch you all again soon.